Hello. Hello everyone and welcome to the Chase Media channel. Today we're going to be flying the BBJ2 737-800 BBJ2. Today we're going to be flying from Entebbe to Kigali. This flight is going to take us about 2 hours to complete in total, including the configuration. As you can see, it's pretty stormy here in Entebbe, and we're going to be using live weather settings, and we're also going to be using live time for today's flight. For today's flight, we're also going to be using BeyondATC FS2 crew, and the weather is going to be generated by the Active Sky. Right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump to the cockpit and start setting up for a flight. So first, let's go ahead and turn on the battery. Pound power. So hit the aircraft to M2 align. Let's start setting up. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
Okay, so while we have the aircraft initializing, let's grab our iPad and let's load up our current flight. So this is a flight from before, and we're going to be loading up our current flight. So this is going to be our flight plan for today. Let's go ahead and turn on the IRS. The IRS alignment is not realistic on my aircraft. It's pretty much instant. So there is that. Okay, so we're going to be using our last known position, and before we're going to continue, we're going to go ahead and get our flight information to our virtual tablets here, so we can then go ahead and easily load it up to the FMC. So select fuel, select payload, select RT, request. So he's running cruise checks. I'm gonna go ahead back to the FMC. Router plane is ready. Let's load it up. Let's activate our route. So for the departure, we're gonna be expecting a departure on via runway 17, and that's gonna be direct to Octex. And
I'm out for the walk around.
alright, so he's out for the walk around. Let's set the altimeter. And while he's walking around, let's go ahead and check the oxygen. Oxygen tested 100% my side. Oxygen tested 100% his side. And configuration horn in 1. Oh, good. Both are working just fine. And theater lights. Okay, my side is all good. His side is good to go. And now let's test all the other lights and switches. Everything looks pretty good. Alright, back to the FMC. Let's execute fixes. Alright, so we currently at Hotel Uniform Echo November. So Hotel Uniform Echo November. And we would like 5 miles from the airport to be marked on our displays, 10 and then 13. The other fix that's gonna be a Hotel Romeo Yankee Romeo. So Hotel Romeo Yankee Romeo for the second fix, and we would like 5 nautical miles from it, then 10, and then we want 13 nautical miles marker from the airport. As you can see, it drew some circles around the airport. Okay, so planned fuel, that's going to be 8.6. For the reserves, we're going to be having a 1, let's set it to 2. Cost index 4 to the flight, that's going to be 11. And flight level, that's going to be 270 for today's flight. We have average winds of 109 degrees at 15 knots. Average temperature deviation, that's gonna be at plus 17. So that's gonna be a minus, gonna leave us with minus 21 degrees. Transition altitude, that's gonna be 7,000 feet. Now onto the speeds and so on. So we're going to be departing from runway 7. Let's see. Because we're going to be using takeoff 1. Takeoff 1. Temperature, that's going to be...
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Thanks.
The temperature, that's going to be 35 degrees Celsius. And animal limit, that's gonna be at 98. .56. Okay. Flaps. We're gonna be planned for flaps 5. CG will be 24.0.
Passengers bus is coming.
Let's double check our takeoff speeds. So we rotate 133, V2 is 140. Good. Now onto the MCP, we're gonna set it to 140 for the V2. Let's go ahead and tune into the tower frequency and test it out. So the tower frequency is supposed to be on 118.1. 118 decimal 1. Good. Entebbe Tower, Night Chase 1, radio check.
Night Chase 1, reading you loud and clear.
Perfect. So, in case we're gonna need to come back to Entebbe, we're gonna be using an ILS approach Zulu for our return. So the final course, that's going to be 170, so let's set both sides to 170, and we're going to be also flying the runway heading, so we're also going to set the runway heading to 170 as well. Alright, the auto throttle is armed. Flight directors are on, minus master sees the slaves, and we also want the navigation frequency, which is on 110.7. 110.7 for the local ILS. So 110.7 on both sides. For our arrival, we are going to be planning for our arrival,
good afternoon.
We are gonna be planning for runway 28.
Hello.
Departure.
Good afternoon.
And we're gonna be arriving via Alasar 1 Alpha.
Hello.
And let's prepare for a
Good afternoon.
ILS Zulu 28. Of course,
May I see your boarding pass?
the ATC will give us the full clearance when we will be inbound.
I'm back.
for the
No
approach.
issues on the walk around.
But we're going to be planning for 28 as Zulu. So let's go ahead and set the frequency for the localizer, which is 109.8. So 109.8. Sorry, decimal niner. 109.9 on both sides is set. Let's wait for our co-pilot to finish his walkthrough and checks, and then we're going to be requesting our clearance. Gonna be expecting a long taxi.
Glide
Yeah,
slope.
we're gonna be
Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain.
having
Terrain.
quite a
Pull
long
up.
taxi to the runway 17. We're
Sink
gonna be
rate.
using probably runway 30,
Pull up.
then
Terrain.
Delta Alpha
Pull
4
up.
for taxi.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle. Approaching minimums. 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 2,500. 1,000. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain.
And TCAS.
TCAS test. Pass.
Very well done. Let's go ahead and request our IFR clearance, and also let's go ahead and turn on the APU so we can disconnect from ground power. So let's go ahead and start the APU unit.
Hi, here's the fuel slip.
BB Tower, Nights 1, requesting IFR clearance.
Night Chase 1, Entebbe Tower. Expect runway 17. Climb flight level 100 on runway centerline. Then expect radar vectors Octex. Squawk 1152.
Expect runway 17, climb 1000 via Octex, squawk 1152, Night Chase 1.
Night Chase 1, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger, Night Chase 1. Right, let's go ahead and brief our first officer for our departure.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the stand. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It will be a left seat takeoff, using rated thrust, planning a flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Above 80 knots, we will reject for fire, engine failure, loss of control, or wind shear. The crew member noticing the abnormality will clearly state the problem. I will call reject or continue. If the decision is to reject, I will close the thrust levers and disengage auto throttle, observe or apply maximum braking, raise speed brakes, apply maximum amount of reverse thrust consistent with conditions and bring the aircraft to a complete stop on the runway, stow the speed brake, and set the parking brake, advise the cabin, this is the captain speaking, remain seated, remain seated. I will then perform any necessary memory items or checklists as appropriate. If an evacuation is required, I will initiate the evacuation checklist. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we will continue the takeoff, rotate at VR, call positive rate gear up, and cancel the master caution. There will be no other calls below 400 feet. At 400 feet, I'll call for a roll mode, then call confirm the failure. If required, we'll perform any necessary memory items, climb at V2 to V2 plus 20 to 1000 feet AFL or TOCA, whichever is higher. Retract flaps on schedule. When flaps have been retracted at or above, flaps up, maneuver speed, call for level change if VNAV is not engaged. Set max continuous thrust, and call for the appropriate emergency checklist. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. The departure routing will be via ATC vectors. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directives are on. Mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set. The NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. The current weather poses a threat. We won't rush any procedures today. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
Okay, so the departure brief is complete. Passengers all on board. Let's
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
thanks.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Pre-flight checklist.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today.
Pre-flight checklist.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches. Normal. Auto. Windows heat. On. Pressurization mode selector. Auto.
If you are
Flight
unable to
instruments.
accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also, review the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are
Heading
seated in an exit seat,
170,
also review the exit
altimeter
seating criteria.
1019 set.
Heading 179. Altimeter 1019. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist completed.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Yes.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Entebbe ground. Night Chase 1 is ready for push and start.
Night Chase 1, Entebbe ground, pushback approved. Face northwest.
Face northwest. Night Chase 1. Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. MCP.
B2 140, heading 170, altitude 10,000.
Takeoff speeds.
V1 130, V-rotate 133, V2 140.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Once again,
Rudder and
ladies
aileron trim?
gentlemen, welcome on board
3
our
and
flight
0.
today.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Please direct your
Anti-collision
attention
light.
to the
On.
cabin
Before start
for
checklist
safety
complete.
information.
Start
There is
sequences
an
1 and
instruction card
2.
in your seat
Check.
pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on this aircraft. Regulations
Okay, let's go ahead
require
and disconnect
compliance
from
with this information as well as all crew
GSX.
instructions, lighted information signs, and
was
motion flaggers. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into
effective
the
for
buckle.
departure.
Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Locate the exit nearest you. The nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a
I think
panel
we're gonna
will open
be
and oxygen
editing the
lamps will appear.
pushback quickly,
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened
so you
and
won't
pull a
be
mask
stuck
toward you to start
and
the box.
Departure checks completed.
Pulling the mask.
Bypass pin inserted.
Cover your nose and mouth with the mask. Place the elastic band around your head and tighten by pulling on the end. Secure your own
we're
mask
gonna be
before
needing
assisting
our
others.
pushback to be
Your seat bottom
to
cushion
right,
may be used as
with
a
the nose to
flotation
the
device. Pull
nose
up and
to the
remove
right.
the cushion.
Yeah.
Upon exiting the aircraft, place your arms around the cushion and hold onto the straps to keep it on the back.
Lock in gear.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located above your seat. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so let's quickly edit the pushback. like good.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Start
at
engine
will.
number 1.
Starting engine 1. Oil pressure.
So we're gonna be waiting here for 24 and 2. Okay. Starter cutout.
Starter cutout.
And we have
Number
order
1 stable.
stable. Part works are set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good
Start
engine
engine
start.
number 2.
Starting engine 2. Oil pressure. Check.
Yeah. Start cutout.
Starter cutout.
And number 2 is stable.
Number 2 stable.
Good. And let's go ahead and confirm that with
Cockpit
the
to ground.
G6.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Flaps 5. Enter the ground and Chase 1 requesting taxi to the runway.
Night Chase 1, runway 17 taxi via Foxtrot. Hold short runway 12.
Taxi via
Full chop
Foxtrot, hold short
disconnected.
runway 12. Night
Bypass
Chase
being
1.
removed.
Negative. Clarify departure runway 17 and taxi via Foxtrot.
Runway 17, taxi via Foxtrot, Night Chase 1. Well, Foxtrot. So probably... Okay. Probably not according to the chart, but if she's told us... PMDG telling us to taxi via HRYR 1 in real world. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Probe heat on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall.
Checked. Checked.
Checked. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle detained.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment,
Clear.
clear. Before taxi checklist completed.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Let's go. Okay, so she said Foxtrot. Foxtrot, I see. Yeah, Foxtrot. So Foxtrot here is gonna be on the left. So that's gonna be Juliet 2 in the real world.
Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Okay, thanks. So we are going to be taking here left to Foxtrot, which is real world Juliet 2. So because the sun facing to the other direction, so let's go ahead with this one. So that's going to be Juliet 1. Then I'm going to be holding before I'm going to be entering runway 12, and they should clear us for continue on the runway. Okay, let's hold here.
Night Chase 1, cross runway 12 at Foxtrot. Continue taxi via Foxtrot, Charlie.
Taxi runway 17 via Foxtrot, taxi via Charlie. Night Chase 1.
Negative, cross runway 12 at Foxtrot.
Cross runway 12 at Foxtrot, Night Chase 1. Okay, so she cleared us to cross the runway. Let's add a bit more thrust, and we do not want stay too much on the runway. We're gonna be turning on, let's turn our logo on. And let's turn on the strobe as well, so we will be visible from the air in case someone gonna be landing. They will be able to see us. And also she said the next wave going to be turning onto Charlie, which is probably, in our case here, that's going to be probably Delta. probably will be Delta for us on the chart. Let's scan for Charlie. Yeah, so Charlie, that's going to be to the right. So just a bit. Echo Delta. I'm gonna take this term because it makes more sense. The chart is not in line with the actual airport here, so let's turn off the stroking to automatic.
Night chase. 1. Contact Entebbe Tower. 118.1.
118.1, night chase 1. Okay, let's hold here. Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flap 5, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
4.0 units.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Entebbe Tower, night chase 1, ready at runway 17.
Night Chase 1 did not copy.
Entebbe Tower, night chase 1, ready at runway 17.
Night Chase 1, request not understood.
Entebbe Tower, night chase 1, ready for departure at runway 17.
Night Chase 1 in Entebbe Tower, wind 230 at 9, fly heading 230, runway 17, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 17, night chase 1. Runway entry procedure.
Okay. Cabin crew,
All
take
aircraft
your
be
seats.
advised, information echo now current, QNH 1019er.
Ready to go.
Very good, let's slide in to the runway. Takeoff. Set wipers high.
Thrust set.
Airspeed's alive.
$80 knots.
80 knots.
E1.
Rotate.
Rotate.
E2. Positive rate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. $400 feet.
Flaps 1.
Speed check.
Night Chase 1. Contact Entebbe departure 126.6.
Flaps 1 set.
Set wipers off. One, 2.6.6. Night Chase 1. Entebbe departure. Night Chase 1 is leaving 5,000, climbing 10,000 with you. Flaps up.
Night Chase 1. Entebbe departure identified. Climb to flight level 130.
Flight level 130 for Night Chase 1.
Flaps up, set.
Night Chase 1. Cleared direct octex. Resume on navigation.
Clear direct octex, resume on navigation. Night Chase 1. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds. On. Packs. Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps. Up. No lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Happy to release the cabin crew.
Okay.
Okay.
Set flight level 130.
Flight level 120. Set.
Transition set standard.
Standard set. Passing flight level 092. Now.
That's pretty rough air here.
Flight level 100.
Night Chase 1. Contact Entebbe radar 128.5.
128.5. Night Chase 1.
Portable electronic devices may now be used.
Entebbe radar. Night Chase 1 leaving 10,000,
or any
climbing
other device in the transmit mode, as these devices may interfere with the aircraft's communication and navigation systems.
Night Chase 1. Entebbe radar. Climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb flight level 270, Night Chase 1. Set flight level 270.
Flight level 270. Set.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. We're going to be engaging autopilot any second now. I'll climb above the weather. Perfect. And for some reason we did not turn off those central fuel pumps. Go ahead, what VNAV, LNAV, and select autopilot now.
Autopilot on.
Perfect. So we're going to be climbing to flight level 270 right now and descending in about 76 nautical miles, which is not that much. So we're going to be preparing for our descent already. So we're going to be expecting ILS Zulu to runway 28. And let's go ahead and set our MCP for that as well. Set course my side 279.
279. Set.
Set course your side 279.
279. Set.
Now, do we have 80s there? Yeah, we have 80s. So 128.7 for the 80s. 128. That's about 7 for the 80s. Let's tune into that as well. Let's see if we can capture the 80s. And probably not just yet. So we just too far from the airport just there. But in about 10 nautical miles we'll already be able to capture the 80s. Our fuel level on both sides. Good opportunity while climbing because the engines consume more power. At 2000 before we're going to be reaching our cruising altitude.
Thousand to level.
We can still hear some weather just below us.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments we'll begin our meal service for the flight. Please refer to the menu given to you on boarding for the two
So we're
meal
going to be
choices
also
and your
prepared
beverage
for our
choices available. We request that you
Portugal
keep the
itself.
aisles clear to assist the flight attendants to serve you efficiently and also for
Mr.
your
Coach, that's going to be at 8,000 feet. And Got mine a lot. Thanks you for following. Okay, so where were we? So missed approach is going to be 8,000 feet. Final approach sector that's going to be 7,400 feet. Minimums that's going to be we're going to be using a radio, and that's going to be using the 200 feet for the minimums, and the approach is going to be ILS. Autopilot is going to be level 3. Okay, let's go ahead and run.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via ATC vectors for an ILS approach. Planning a flaps 30 landing. Final approach fix altitude is 7,400 feet. Decision height is 200 feet. Missed approach altitude is 8,000 feet. Taxi route in will be as assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a gate. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
Airport 3, and we're going to be descending about 14 nautical miles. So that's going to be a good time. Let's set not barrel but radio, and radio that's going to be 200 feet. And let's get our feeder speeds around 28 0.143. So let's go ahead. Flap's going to be 30 0.143. Let's also put the forecast for our descent. Focus uplink is ready. Let's go ahead and load it up. Hit execute. The 80s just here.
Level 110. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar. Kigali Airport information, Oscar. 1103 Zulu. Wind 210 at 8. Few clouds at 2,500. Temperature 28. Dew point 06. QNH 1021. Landing and departing runway 280. Transition level 110. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Then we got Oscar. And we're going to be descending just less than 20 nautical miles here.
Night Chase 1, Entebbe radar, amendment to your route, advise ready to copy.
Ready to copy, Night Chase 1.
Night Chase 1, expect radar vectors runway 28.
Expect radar vectors runway 28, chase 1. Let's go ahead and run through the descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 4900 feet. Recall. Check. Auto brake. Level 3. Landing data.
VRAF 200 feet. Minimum. VRAF 143. Minimum 200 feet.
VREF 143. Minimums 200 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist completed.
Entebbe radar chase 1 is ready for descent.
Night Chase 1. Fly present heading. Descend and maintain flight level 200 Kigali Airport landing runway 28.
Descent flight level 200, landing runway 28, QNH 1021, Night Chase 1. Right.
Night Chase 1, contact Dare Radar 119er decimal tree.
119.3, Night Chase 1.
Negativa the radar on 119er decimal tree.
119.3, Night Chase 1. The radar Night Chase 1 is leaving flight level 270 for flight level 200 with you.
Night Chase 1, the radar contact.
Will be expected to be arriving in about 10 to 15 minutes.
1000 to level.
Night Chase 1. Descend to 7,400 feet. QNH 1021. Vectors for the approach.
Then flight level 7,400 feet. QNH 1021. Night Chase 1.
Night Chase 1. Contact Kigali radar 125.3.
121, 125.3. Night Chase 1. Kigali radar. Night Chase 1 is leaving flight level 190 for flight level 074 with you.
Night Chase 1, Kigali radar identified.
Cabin crew?
Night Chase 1, contact Kigali approach 124.3.
124.3. Night Chase 1. Kigali approach, night chase 1, leaving flight level 130, for flight level 04074, Victor Oscar with you.
Night chase 1, verify information Oscar.
Night chase 1, have information Oscar on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent,
Night chase 1, Kigali approach. Good day, QNH 1021, expect the visual approach, runway 28.
please turn off all electronic devices
Expect
until we
visual
are safely
approach
parked at
runway
the gate.
28 QNH 1021, Night chase 1. Okay, so we're getting a visual
Night
approach.
chase 1, descend to 7,200 feet.
Descend to 7,200 feet. Night chase 1. Transition set standard. Transition set altimeter.
1021. Set passing 10,200. Check. Now. 10,000. Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Cabin to cabin is secure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you are making a connection to another flight, please see the customer service agent meeting this flight or video monitors inside the terminal for connecting gate information. For your continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll be collecting all service items, newspapers, and any other items you wish to
1,000
discard
level.
and may not be taking off the aircraft with you. Also, in preparation for landing, please turn off all electronic devices. Stow these devices and then all other carry-on items. Please use caution when opening overhead bins of items we have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray tables and return your seats.
Final approach fix. Height checked. Missed approach altitude not set. Radio altimeter alive. Cabin crew, take your seats.
Oh my goodness.